This is my 2019 Freightliner Cascadia. She has been a damn good truck for the time I've had her. She has got about 580,000 miles on her. Out of that, I've put roughly 180,000 miles on her. I thought it was about time I'd go ahead and do a truck tour. Let y'all know kind of what I got going on with my truck and how it works for me and how I have it set up to live out on the road while I'm gone. I'm going to start with the outside right here. First thing that we're going to come to is I run a Predator 10K with a 27-inch shaft extension on it. And the reason I do that and run it so far out is because on these Cascadias, a lot of the electronics are built into the roof and to the hood. And if you have an antenna sticking straight up, you'll pick up a lot of interference and you won't get a good enough signal coming in as you would normally. Well, we got the door open. This is where I keep my gloves, flashlight, and soap. Very important to have soap on hand. That's another reason in this box over here, I keep a jug of water to help wash my hands anytime I get them dirty. This is also going to be where I keep my tools, socket set. If I have a low tire, something to air up my tires with, which I've never had to use, as you can tell. And then some straps, tire thumper, dirty pair of gloves, and some grease. Everything I feel I might need out here on the road that will keep me from having to call the mechanic out. On this other side, what I keep in here is Mr. Woody. If you've been trucking for a while, you know what Woody's used for, and that's all I need to say about that. I got a blower in here to blow out trailers, extra antifreeze, washer fluid, oil, my triangles, extra lights, and an extra ratchet strap and an extension cord over here if I need it. Alright, I'm going to finish up where I started this yesterday. I had some stuff come up. What in the world? Gum stink bug up there. Alright, well, we're back. I don't know where that stink bug went, but he fell somewhere and I can't find him. We had stink bugs swarm. I live out in the country. We had stink bugs swarm this past week or so, and they're just everywhere. They're getting in the vehicles, obviously. There he is. I got you. All right, for a third time, let's try this again. I'm going to try to do this without being out of breath. I've been having issues ever since I had COVID with catching my breath, and I think I've talked about that before in a video. I went to go see my doctor this week, and we're making a specialist or an appointment for a heart specialist to have my heart looked at. Hopefully everything's fine. The EKG came back good, but we just want to check for blood clots or anything like that. But if I seem to be out of breath, I apologize. I'm trying not to be, but there's not much I can do about it. But enough of that. We're going to try this again for the third time. That stink bug did get me. Whew, he stunk. I've actually never smelt one before, and I picked him up to release him outside because I didn't want to kill him, and he squirted my hand, and you talk about something that smells, man. But anyways, alright, so we're going to start off with the dash, kind of like how I have my dash set up. I don't know how well y'all are gonna be able to see it, but to the right we got my CB, which I always recommend running. I may not talk on it all the time, but I do recommend running one. It'll help you know if you're running up on something, wrecks, whatever that case may be. I run a General HP 40. It's supposed to be a high output. It's got a built-in linear on the bottom here. They says it puts out about 140 watts, but I had it peaked and tuned from Woodshop over at the 126 on 40. And I think this really only puts out about 115, 120 watts. But I mean, it's still a big radio. It still gets out pretty good. To go along with my CB, I run an Aesthetic noise reduction mic. This has got the matte finish, so it feels pretty good in the hand the way I got it mounted up. Up here, if you notice, I keep a bottle of hand sanitizer and then a seatbelt cutter. To me, I think that's very important to have that within reach, just in case you never know what might happen. And then just a little beard brush up here. And this cabinet right here is what I would consider my junk drawer. It just pretty much just has anything. For instance, a little snack in case I get hungry on the road, toothpicks, and some papers, Tums. And I think I got a airline lock here from Warlock. So always a good thing to be able to have in reach. That's pretty much all I keep up there. Back to the dash though, I have my charger block, a null wart, phone charger and mount. So all you gotta do is just set your phone straight down on it and it'll automatically start charging magnetically. And then my GoPro batteries, my external speaker for my CB, and then there's a dash cam that sits up there too. And then y'all seen it in my video, so I ain't gonna worry about it, but my Garmin that sits up there. But that's really pretty much it for the driver's seat. Over here, I don't really keep anything but boxes for, you know, stuff for warranty. Same with, that's what I got up here too, is my GPS warranty. Got some trash bags, a hat, extra envelopes, ratchet strap, and then my trash bags. Every week when we go to Walmart, we try to save all of our Walmart bags, and I use them for trash bags out here on the truck. This is going to be my medicine cabinet. Now, I don't really know how this looks. It might look good, it might look bad, just for the fact that all that bouncing down the road. That's one thing that I've noticed about being a truck driver, and I'm kind of OCD with how I like my stuff. But the one thing I've noticed is no matter how I try or what I do, I mean, you're just not going to keep it neat. I mean, there's just no way. You can keep it somewhat organized, but you're never going to keep it neat. But in here, I got peroxide, some Zyrtec. This is just a case with some medicines and stuff like that in there. And then a first aid kit. That's all I pretty much got in there. Not much to see. I'm really kind of going through this pretty quick. Yeah. This is kind of like a hodgepodge. That's where I keep tortilla shells, or wraps I should say, some Ziploc bags, windshield cleaner, and then in these Ziploc bags here I have just different types of straps, air fresheners, some wire management right there on the bottom. And then here is just going to be tape, duct tape, electrical tape, double-side tape, stuff like that. And then some air fresheners. That's all that's going to be up there. One thing I'm added to the truck here recently that I'm pretty happy about is this fan. I don't know if any of y'all have a Freightliner Cascadia, but in the back you have your controls back here, your controls up front, but the controls in the back, when you set those, will set the controls up front, which I cannot stand. So normally what I do is I'll turn the controls on the back on low, and then I'll turn these controls on like medium or high, and then set the temperature. And I went to Lowe's, not Lowe's, but Lowe's, and bought this little fan that clips onto the side here and plugs into that 12 volt back there in the back. Now the only problem with this fan that I've noticed is that the what do they call it, the Road Pro fan from Lowe's does not come with an on and off switch. It has an oscillating switch, but it doesn't have an on and off switch. So what I wound up doing, if you look here, is I went to Lowe's and bought a lamp rocker switch and installed into the wires here. That way I can turn the fan on and off without having to unplug it. That works pretty good. And I'm sure y'all seen this. You know, I got a Keurig set up in here along with a full mini fridge and freezer. So you can see there, I got my meal preps in there. Ugh. And then in here, just some bologna, a couple drinks, water, a couple more drinks. But I guess we'll start for the back area. I guess we'll start here since we're already talked about the fan. I don't really know how to show you this, but this is something I have found out, that if you're gonna have a TV in your truck, you need to mount it properly. And what I mean properly is go the extra mile, because my last TV, or actually my last two TVs, have ripped the backs out the back, and they were smaller than this. They were only like 19 inches or 22 inches or something like that. This is a 32. But how I wound up doing this one, well, let's see if I can show you, is I used a swivel mount, sort of like what you'd use in your house, but I used a lot bigger bolts, and then on the other side of these bolts I have them secured with locking nuts and washers, instead of just like a lot of people just use self-tappers. I think even the way they come is with a self-tapper when they install it themselves. And then for the TV, let me turn this light back off. For the TV, what I've noticed is you get a lot of vibration when you're driving down the road. If you notice, I got that towel back there in the back wrapped around it to help cut out on the vibration. But one of the other things I did is, see this little hook right here? That's one of those little bungee cords. And I just hooked it to the top and ran it. I'll show you why I hooked that up. Right up there. I don't know if you can see that very well, but that way it keeps tension on that TV and just kind of allows it not to move around. And so far it doesn't shake, it doesn't make noise, and it hasn't even started to rip the back out. Now having a 32-inch TV in here, it does cover up my microwave, but like I said, it being on a swivel, I can just move it out the way, do what I need to do, and then move it back. So that's not too bad. This right here is probably the most used cabinet for me anyways. And it looks like a mess, but that's all right. Up here is where I keep all my coffee stuff, teas, extra condiments. See if I can do this again. Up here, this is kind of how this cabinet right here has taken so many tries to set it up to where it was functional and hold everything I needed to hold. And what I mean by that is, like earlier when I was saying stuff just kind of just moves around and just goes wherever it wants to. That's a lot with this stuff, especially when you got stuff like this that just kind of sit up. So I keep my teas in here. I have a jet boil in the back if I want to cook some soup or anything like that. Extra condiments, coffee, some creamers, extra mug. And then this is a hot plate right here, which I don't hardly ever use it no more since I'm home every other day now. But then this, you know, I keep salt and pepper, different seasonings, hot sauces, and then a knife and little pots in there. This right here started out great when I decided to use one of these. It really did. The problem I had with it being a cheap plastic when I got it from Walmart is it worked great for a while, and then the heat in the truck, when the truck would sit like in the summertime, would start bowing the drawers, and so they would fall down. And so what I found out to do is, if you look, I put little self tappers in the front and the backs on each side, on each drawer. And what that does is, when the drawers, the plastic has shrunk or warped in, those self tappers still stick out and hang on that ledge to keep the drawers from falling down. Just a little tip if y'all ever use those. And then up here, it's not really much. It's my just all everything plugs in at. This actually runs across there. Yeah, let's see here. We'll run across there and then go up. You can see I got it routed, and it goes into my inverter down here. Now that inverter is a Jupiter 5,000 watt, 10,000 peak inverter, where it works great. No complaints. I mean, it's a modified sine wave. So if you plan on running an induction style cooktop or something like that, it will not work. But I don't, that's why I got the hot plate. But for everything else, it works great. No complaints whatsoever. But also up here, this is my bottle recycling plant. So we need to recycle some more bottles, it looks like. And then just silverware, plates, got some Dunkin' coffee, Starbucks coffee, and just a case of water. That's pretty much all I keep up there. I think I got an antenna up here too. I got a spare antenna right there. It's a skip shooter. But other than that, like I said, I try to not have everything so cluttered. I can't stand cluttered. I don't know how people live in cluttered trucks. I like to be as organized as I can be. But that'll bring us over here, and I don't know what's gonna fall. Alright. In here, this is just all paperwork stuff, really. My Bible, some mouthwash, a toaster. This is extra sour supplies, so extra shampoo, extra body wash, toothpaste, stuff like that. And then this box here, that is CB parts. I got extra speaker, extra mic, mounts, and antenna mounts and antenna parts in case I need anything. That's what all that is. So, as you can see, I'm pretty minimal on what I carry with me. The closet here, I don't really utilize the closet for closet, just for the fact because I'm out and back every day. But honestly, even if I was out for a week at a time, I don't think I'd use it as a closet. It's just easier to carry a bag, like a little go bag. But may not use the closet for what it's intended for, but I do have a lot of stuff in here. I don't know how well that's going to show up, but we got the air fryer in here. Let's see here. I can do this. Alright, I just showed y'all we got the air fryer in there. I keep napkins in there. This is my drink organizer for drop-in drinks. I got a hoodie in here and my yellow vest, my safety vest. And the only other thing I have in here is this lunchbox right here. Now you might be wondering why I got a lunchbox in my closet. Well, I'm going to tell you. Last winter, a lot of the places I went up north, the roads got shut down, and luckily I wasn't one of the drivers that got stuck on them, but a lot of drivers did get stuck out there on the roads and didn't have a place to use the bathroom or get something to eat, and they were out there for a few days, you know, especially out there on the East Coast and all. So I decided that is just a big ass lunchbox with go food. I mean, it's got soups, noodles, Vienna sausages, sardines, crackers, and just stuff like that. I mean, pickles, just whatever. That is all that is. The only thing I ever really even eat out of there is the Viennas. Everything else just kind of stays in there, but it's an emergency case, and that's just how I keep it. This light back into the area where when I'm in the truck and I'm shut down, that I reckon I would spend most of my time, and it's going to be the bunk. So starting over here, you can see I got, this is my internet device. This is how I watch TV, cable TV, movies, whatever. I keep this. When you're shut down, I get tired of looking at my phone for TV or YouTube or whatever, so this is worth it to me to pay for that. Then we got some protection. Really not much going on over here other than that, and then just the TV. But wait, I do have some cool lights. So let's see here, when I'm driving at night, I installed these. There they go. That's my red light for at nighttime. Just kind of so it's not so dark in here, and give me a little bit of a light. I hate traveling with it's just completely dark in the truck and it's dark outside and nobody's out on the roads. It just makes you tired. So that having a little bit of light in here really helps out on those long nights. And then when I'm doing some editing or gaming or whatever, gotta have the black light. But just to interrupt, but to kind of give you an idea what it looks like when I do my editing in here. I don't know how well it picks up, but it just kind of sets the mood for me, I guess. But oh yeah, that light I was showing y'all earlier, there it goes. That's all it is. I like it though. Anyways, back to this. Other than that, I mean, it's just a truck. It ain't nothing too special. Now I can switch that light to other colors, but I just leave it like it is. Well, actually, I did install a new light in my truck this weekend. I don't know how many of y'all have these Cascadias or these newer trucks and they have LED lights, but when I'm reading or just relaxing, I get so tired of having a bright white light in my truck. So what I did is I went on Amazon and found these, they're called sconce lights, I think it's how you pronounce it. And they're LEDs, but they're like a warming yellow light. You see them to like light up hallways and stuff like that. But I bought one, I think it was like 20 bucks. It has a magnetic bracket that you can install, and then you can charge them USB. And I put it right up here in this corner. Yeah, check that out. What's cool about this is, watch this. I can take it completely off, and then there's the bracket, and I can put it back up, and it's leveled. Turn this off, touch it, and it'll turn off. Hold it, and come on. You can change how bright you want everything too. So there you go. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. And today was actually the first day I drove with it, and it didn't rattle at all, so I'm pretty happy with that. But this is my truck, man. I mean, I do have a grill up under the bed. It's a little propane grill, but I don't get it out much. That was one of those things when I was gone for a week or so at a time, I would have on here because I don't eat out. I mean, if we don't meal prep and bring my food with me, then I will bring stuff to cook on the road. Like, I even got a crock pot that has a locking lid that's made for RVs and trucks, and it's just at the house right now. But I mean, other than that, I mean, this is my truck. It's nothing too special, but it's pretty homey for me, and it's set up to the point to where I'm happy with it, and it suits my needs. And hopefully this will help y'all out, because like I said, I've gone through a lot of renditions on how this truck was set up, or my last truck was set up, and how I have it set up now. But this is, I think this is, I don't want to say the final that this is going to be, but for me, for this truck, this is probably where it's at. It has everything I need to do everything I need to do out here. Now, it may not be everything for y'all, but for me, it works pretty good, and I like the setup. Not really, I really don't have anything else to say about it. I mean, it's a pretty basic truck, and I got it set up the way I need it. But I hope this helps y'all out, and maybe help y'all set up y'all's truck and get to where y'all need to be comfortable out here on the road. Because at the end of the day, that's all we want. We work a hard day, and we just want to be able to relax at the end of that day and feel some semblance of home. And that's what I try to do with this truck, is just give me some semblance of home, something that just I can relax in, that doesn't feel like I'm at work. And that was my main goal, and I think I've accomplished that for me, for it to be functionable. Anywho, well, y'all take care. Y'all be safe out there. Have a good week, and I'll catch y'all later.